This is how people were dressed at a Fashion Week event. Minimal shapes, muted tones, comfortable cuts, very differently from the influencer fashion you see all over social media. But how is that even possible? Why do the people who create fashion and influencer themselves dress differently in real life and on social media? The reason is simple. It's not a conspiracy theory, but it's not all well-meaning either. I used to work as an international business lawyer on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, and I have grown up spending my summers in my grandparents' chateau in the south of France. My grandmother, who was from haute bourgeoisie, taught me the art of dressing à la française and helped me develop a deep understanding of fashion. You are about to learn why influencer fashion doesn't work on you, and worse, why it's bad for your confidence, your wallet, and your wardrobe. I'll then show you how to build outfits in the way that my grandmother taught me. The first thing that you should know is that the top priority of an influencer is to get views and engagement, because when they do, they can sign brand deals and make a living. Being noticed is their bread and butter, and there is nothing wrong with that. All types of businesses fight for attention because attention means money. That, however, means that influencers need to use every single trick in the book in order to get noticed on a crowded feed. And for fashion influencers, that means outfits that stand out. These are outfits that are designed to hook people's eyes, and also which sole purpose is to look good on a picture. If you take most influencer outfits out of context and place them in real life situations, they quickly look out of place. And what my grandmother, and my mother as well, let's give her the credit she deserves, taught me about fashion is that an outfit should be adapted to a circumstance. Your outfit should always be appropriate for what you want to get out of the interaction. If you want to convey professionalism, you shouldn't use an outfit that has a juvenile attitude. If you're going on a date, you'll want to be very careful about how sexy your outfit is, because if it's too sexy, it's going to mean that you're in it for something intimate afterwards, even though you might not be. Whereas an outfit that is very little sexy conveys that you're looking for a long-term partner. The context fashion influencers are dressing for is visual impact. And dressing for visual impact means rewarding extremes at the cost of proportions and balance. It also means prioritizing aesthetics at the expense of comfort. I saw recently one of my favorite influencers break her foot because she was wearing flip-flop high heels. Her outfit looked really cool, particularly in the environment that she was in, but it was not an outfit that was made for real life. These shoes are not even made for real life. The pressure from the shoe was so strong it broke her foot. Finally, dressing for visual impact completely ignores practicalities such as weather and commute. Not everybody has a private chauffeur to take them to wherever they need to go in 15 centimeters heels or very short dresses. Worse, actually, dressing in an extreme way is going to cost you authority because you're going to send a signal that you don't know how to adapt to a social context. And that's going to look badly on you, showing that you don't have social and emotional intelligence. You will be perceived as a follower of fashion and not as a leader, therefore not as somebody capable of leading a team, a department, or a business. And that might cost you the promotion that you've been working so hard to get. And ignoring practicalities such as weather and comfort will make you look awkward to anybody else around you. It might look great on the picture, and you see many influencers here in Paris taking pictures, but to anybody else, especially in prestigious environments, you're going to be perceived as just another influencer. And if you care about conveying competence and status, that is definitely going to hurt you. If you're going to a prestigious event, whatever it might be, you should never look like a try-hard. You should dress like if this was your everyday, because that's the only way you're going to convey that you belong to this environment. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in the second part of the video. Another constraint that you have that an influencer does not have is that you need to look good from every every angle, whereas they just need to look good for the picture. One of my friends who is a fashion designer was telling me that back when she was working at Harper's Bazaar, she was helping with putting together the model for a fashion editorial photo shoot.
It's just a normal shirt. In the cover story, you want to make it special in some way, so you actually just untie some buttons or roll up your sleeve in a certain way, and then you hide lots of clip and their knees to hold the shape in whatever shape you want it.
It's very easy when you're taking a picture to cheat so that the garment falls in the exact most perfect way. And that is one of the reasons why when you buy the garments that are recommended by your favorite influencer, they don't look good on you. It's not a problem with your body, it's a problem with the fact that they were not really truthful from the beginning. Also, influencers will take lots of pictures and only post the good ones. They can select only pictures where the lines of the garments are falling perfectly, harmoniously, making it look much more expensive and much better than it actually is. You obviously can't do that in real life, walking around with safety pins and clothespins everywhere on your outfit. You need to be skilled at choosing pieces that fall impeccably and that look good throughout the day from every angle. And that is much more difficult. Even if you have a model body, you will need to go through many pieces before finding one that actually falls properly on you. And to give you a scale of how normal this struggle is, I have a rather normal classic body type. On average, 30% of the pieces I try will fall right on me. 20% is going to be okay, I can make it work, but the other half is just not a match. And the last thing influencers have to dress for, which you absolutely don't have to care about, is the need to stay novel, relevant, and on brand. Influencers run a business, and a business has constraints around cash flow, positioning, and brand. In order to be profitable, an influencer has to be the first to hop on a trend, make it cool, or find a way to make it original, go viral so that they can have lots of views, build a community, and then make money through affiliate links or brand partnerships. That means that they constantly need to renew their wardrobe to not bore their audience and stay cool, in, and relevant. That they need to integrate trends to show that they're in, and that they need to dress in a way that matches their aesthetic or their brand, not their personality or their mood, because their aesthetic is what their audience follows them for. And if they were to change that, their engagement rates would drop, and so would their sales and their negotiating power with brands. An aesthetic speaks to one specific audience or part of the population, and a brand is going to be aiming at selling to one segment of the population. They choose influencers based on the audience that they have so that they can be sure that their products are shown to potential buyers and not somebody else who doesn't care about it. So the audience of the influencer has to stay very consistent. And to keep a consistent audience, you have to have consistent content. You, on the other hand, only care about looking good, feeling good, and dressing appropriately for the circumstance. So as you can see, you have completely different objectives and lives and relationships when it comes to dressing. And my intent here is not at all to call out my fellow content creators. I know very well the difficulties of running a business and all the constraints that come into it, but I really want to educate you on what is really happening and what is really the driver for the content that you see, so that you can make better decisions, spend your money better on pieces that make you feel good and look good, and also that take you to where you want to go in life. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how to use influencer fashion to build your own style. But before that, I want to show you how to select pieces and build outfits that will have people wonder how you are always so well dressed. Comfort and class are my two priorities when it comes to dressing. I have learned that dressing elegantly will open way more doors than competence alone ever will. I will be guiding you through how to choose elegant outfits that match your personality. If you like a different style, you'll still be able to use all of the principles I'm about to teach you. When buying a piece of garment, the first thing that you'll want is something that will last, because you will look much more expensive with something old that has been well taken care of than something brand new. I will make a video about how to choose quality materials. Until then, here are some guiding principles. You'll want to always select materials that are natural or with as little plastic as possible. Simply read the label or the description when you are shopping. It is mandatory for brands to display the composition of the things they sell. The more plastic, the quicker your garment is going to look like crap. It's going to lose its shape, it's going to pill, and it's going to have holes. This is a 100% cashmere pullover that I bought on sale for 170 euros. I have had it for 2 years now. It hasn't moved and it hasn't even started to pill. This, on the other hand, is a 100% polyester sweater that I bought for 30 euros 3 years ago, that I wore, I think, 5 times before it started to pill, collect dust, and look absolutely terrible. And it is clean right now. It smells of detergent. As a rule of thumb, I recommend not going higher than 30% plastic, any kind of plastic, polyester, acrylic. Because if you do, your garment is going to be way less durable. This is a Sandro pullover that I spent more than 200 euros on. It is actually 50% plastic, and back then it was sold to me as, oh, but it's great, it's going to make it much more durable. If you look closely, you see that the garment has already started to pill. That means that the wool fibers of this garment are actually quite short, and that they managed to give it this thick way of behaving, mostly because of the plastic. Sandro used to be a brand that I loved and recommended, and I have actually stopped buying from them because it's way too expensive for what you get. Money thrown out the window. When picking natural wool, these are both cashmere, try to have the fibers as long as possible. Here, if you look closely, you'll see a big difference between how the two cashmeres evolved. This white one is from Galeries Lafayette. I spent 120 euros, I think, on it. And this gray one is from a brand who reached out to work with us and whom we turned down because we were not happy with the quality of their products. The gray one has short fibers and therefore pills a lot very quickly, whereas the white one has longer fibers. It's not the most amazing cashmere in the world, but it's looking much better. I have worn this scarf the whole winter and I haven't needed to use my little shaver. That is also something that you should bear in mind when influencers recommend products and garments to you. It's a very competitive field, so if you want to make money, sometimes you might have to recommend, or you don't have to, but sometimes you might have to recommend products that are not of the greatest quality. So always be careful when an influencer shares a sponsored link with you. Always read the composition of the garment and educate yourself a little bit on the brand so you can have an idea of the quality of what you're buying. I'm not going to give you a masterclass on price psychology, but basically a very easy trick is to use expensive prices and expensive type of branding to make something look like it's the real deal. A high price does not always equate high quality. The second thing that you'll want from a piece of garment that you're buying is that it falls right on you. In fashion, you are always creating a silhouette with the lines of your clothes, whether you do it consciously or unconsciously. There are 3 most flattering silhouettes that work on any body type: the hourglass, the rectangle, and the triangle. Everybody with any kind of body type can recreate those silhouettes and look gorgeous in them. What matters is that the lines fall exactly where they should. Regardless of your body type, an hourglass silhouette is going to look perfect on you if you have 2 diagonal lines going from the armpit to the navel level, 1 horizontal line at the navel level, and 2 diagonal lines from the navel to the widest part of your hips. If you don't have this shape naturally, you can create it by choosing pieces that accentuate your shoulders and your hips. Regardless of your body type, a rectangle silhouette will look good on you if you have 2 lines that fall straight from your armpit to your navel, 1 horizontal line at your navel level, and 2 straight lines from your navel to your feet. If you don't have this shape naturally, simply pick garment that is wider and therefore falls straighter. And you can absolutely have an hourglass silhouette as your basic outfit and then add a long coat on top of it to have a rectangular silhouette. You look good in both cases. And finally, regardless of your body type, a triangle silhouette will look good on you if you have 2 diagonal lines going from your armpits to past your hips, where the top is wider than the bottom. If you don't have this shape naturally, buy clothes that create that shape by themselves. For example, a cape. When buying clothes, try them on and see if they fall at the right point. If they don't, go one size up or one size down. Some clothes won't fit at all, so simply let them go. Finally, when buying a piece of garment, the third thing that you want is that it tells the right story. Because whether you've noticed it or not, every single piece has a connotation. Fringes say cowboy, lace says whimsy, jeans say worker or laid back, hoodies say sportswear, street, and heels say feminine. When building an outfit, you are mixing all of these connotations. Together, they tell a story. That is the secret to the French je ne sais quoi. When shopping for clothes, choose pieces that have a connotation that you want to be associated with. For example, I personally want to avoid having any kind of sexy connotation in my outfits because I want to display competence. Therefore, I will never or very rarely buy garments that show a lot of skin, have a lot of sexy lace, that are very body hugging, or that have materials that are associated with a more sexy visual environment. Instead, because I want to convey professionalism, I'm going to choose garments that are way more structured in order to represent the structure that I have in my mind. But when I'm with friends, I might very well want to convey that I'm bubbly and creative, which is another part of my personality. And there I'm going to be wearing much more lace, much more color, shapes that are a bit more funky, so that I tell a different story. And sometimes I might want to convey both of these parts of my personality, so I'm going to mix those pieces together. This is how, by the way, you dress for circumstance. If you are unsure of what connotations are right for you, that's where influencer fashion comes into play. When you like an outfit on social media, pay attention to exactly what it is that you like about this outfit. Is it the soft baby blue pullover paired with a rough pair of jeans? That means that you like contrasting softness and roughness, which are maybe 2 parts of your personality. Is it the fact that the outfit is very preppy, in which case that conveys the whimsical part of your personality? Or is it the presence of bold pieces, which indicates that you will enjoy expressing your own boldness through statement pieces in your outfit? Every single connotation is valid. There is no connotation to ban. What will make you look like $1,000,000 and feel like $1,000,000 is putting those connotations together in the right way, in a way that conveys your personality and that is appropriate for the circumstance. A preppy collar on a classic white shirt paired with elegant pieces may be very appropriate for work if it is appropriate at your work that you show a little bit of cutesy whimsy. But for brunch, the same shirt with the preppy collar might be absolutely appropriate, and you can even tune up the preppiness, cutesiness, whimsiness with a pair of yellow heels or a bow in your hair, because then it's appropriate for the circumstance. If you're unsure of where to start, but you want to master the codes of elegance, I offer 5 private consultations each month where I give you an elegance makeover. We go through your wardrobe, I tell you exactly what to buy for your body type, your personality, and your social circumstances. We go through your makeup and groom grooming and I recommend products that suit your skin type and your skin tone. Because elegance is as much in how you dress as in how you behave, I'm going to perform an elegance audit on you. I'm going to help you identify where you are leaking elegance, authority, and competence through the way you speak, through the way you stand, through the way you enter rooms, and I'm going to give you very specific things to do to fix it. You will leave with a 90-day roadmap telling you exactly what to do and when to do it. And if by the end of those 90 days you haven't seen any change, then I will work with you free of charge until you do. If you want people to wonder how you're so classy all the time and why it looks so effortless on you, I invite you to apply through the link in the description, and I look very much forward to meeting you. Fashion influencers can be a true source of inspiration. They definitely are for me, but you need to first have the ground rules of what looks good on you. Use them as a reference to get to know yourself and identify what you like and what you don't like. And when they share links with you, make sure that the quality of the product is up to standards. Don't only trust the price. And if the garment is not a fit, as cumbersome as it may be, return it, because otherwise it's going to eat your money, crowd your wardrobe, and not make you feel any better. It's important that you use your hard-earned money on pieces that truly belong in your wardrobe. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you enjoy what you saw, I invite you to subscribe, and I will see you very happily in the next one. À bientôt!